The Soca Champions. Boom 94.
Welcome to It's On Point on the Boom 94. The Soca Champions. Hans, Khalifa, Atalia, and DJ Brent. You know the base, the core of this show. Now, today, we are going to talk about something that has been a pressing issue. And as you know, we deal with the issues affecting us as a generation inside On Point. All right? And today inside with us, Denise Saucy Wow Belfon, who is at the heat of and the middle of a kind of controversial issue. Denise, we want to thank you so much for being here. And you're looking real good today, boy. Oh,
today?
Oh, God.
Correct your speech. Every day.
All day.
Thank you.
No. You turn up today, boy. And I tell you, Lenny, you already headphones and you're already here, and you're matchy today.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks for having me, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here again. But since the whole scenario has taken place, let us just understand how it has affected you and what has been said.
Honestly speaking, since everything went on, I've been oblivious to the majority of what was said and what was done, because honestly speaking, it really matter to me, because I did nothing wrong in my mind.
Okay.
As an artist, you would be asked to do a dubplate, and for those that don't know about dubplate culture, all I did was send the people that was so interested in what they thought I was saying or doing, that was so, wrong, and expressing my homophobic attitude. I just said to them, go on the selectors page and you'll understand what Song Clash culture is about.
All right. Well, today we're going to talk to Denise. We also have Monroe Bishop, a.k.a. the writer, who got his name because of his crafting of dubplates. And also, as you know now, he's an artist and doing his thing. Also, we have Khalifa here representing Womantra, and we're going to talk about it. We have both sides, so we're going to hear both sides. And of course, Denise Belfon is also going to tell her story. And for those of y'all that are unfamiliar with the whole situation.
But you asked me how it has affected me, and I didn't answer that part yet.
Okay.
How it affected me? You see people who feel that they could just take whatever it is they feel they want to take and run with it, and just try to tarnish somebody's reputation and name after building it for 24 years. I want to know at the end of everything, right? If certain endorsements or certain situations was taken away from me, who apologizing to me or giving me back what I would have lost because no one understood what the dubplate culture was all about? That is what I want to know. Who going and take care of me if nobody don't want to deal with me again when it comes to these things? Wow. Who going and compensate me? That is what I want to know. And if it is that they could give me back, wherever I lost because of what happened, I'll be very grateful. I want them to man up and woman up and fess up and really do what they're supposed to do in a situation like this, when they realize what it is they did to me. Or individuals that did whatever it was to give a selector the opportunity to have a dubplate for a clash that he was being a part of.
We'll get into it. As y'all may or may not know the backstory, but as you know as well, let me break it down for y'all. Denise Belfon, she was recorded making a dubplate for Jamaican selector DJ Dro.
No, he's not Jamaican.
Yeah,
and as usual, people don't ever get their facts or the information correct.
Right, where
he's from Belize.
Right.
He's a Belizean DJ.
Right. And in the video, language was used, and some members of the LGBTQUI community found it offensive. Since then, there have been calls to boycott Denise Belfon and her music by groups such as Womantra, Kaiso, and others. Alright? Now, so that's this week. Now, before we get deep into this week, let's go back to last week a little bit. Khalifa, Atalia, elaborate what you all spoke about.
Okay, last week we spoke about carnival safety tips. I know we had Sergeant Steve McKenzie and Sergeant David Swanson from the TTPS, so thank you again for them, because we had a really interesting conversation. We talked about licensing of FETs for TTPS presence, safety tips going to and leaving an event. And one of the things that I think stuck out is, how we all hands like to post pictures of ourselves at the FET, or leaving our house, we go in pumping and letting everybody basically in the world know my house is empty, please go and rob me. So we talked about that and why you probably should not do that. Save all your pictures till the next day. And we talked about treating with cases of violence during an event. We actually also talked about those guys who will let you park, tell you to park on the side of the road and try to take money from you, and that the police service actually really going to come down on that this year. So yeah, and they actually said to people, don't pay these people any money. Why are you paying people money to park on the side of the road?
Yep.
So we talked about that. It was a very good conversation.
All right. All right. So y'all went to the back, through the back and forth of that. All right.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
Okay. When we come back, we touch on the burning issue. It's on point on the boom.
We're talking about dubplate culture, specifically in the TNT context, and how that works here in Trinidad and Tobago versus maybe in other countries. And we'll talk about all of that. Just to remind you, we have entertainer, musician Denise Belfon with us this morning, the writer Amunra Bishop, who is a member of the Taurus movement and a member of the sound system fraternity in Trinidad and Tobago, and Calive Joseph, intern at Romantra. Now, we spoke to Denise a little bit earlier and got her side of how she felt about what had happened and how it affected her. And now, so I'm going to ask Calive and Amunra. Either of you could take the question first.
Right.
How do you interpret the clip when you listen to it? What do you get from that in terms of your feelings about it?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all.
All right.
When I saw the clip, is a normal thing to me. That is one of the topics that comes up in song class. So, I mean, the execution of the song via dubplate was excellent for me in terms of the, her singing ability. I really didn't really have that kind of reaction, as in this is something I'm accustomed hearing. So
All right, quick question. Did you hear it before the conversation about it started, or you heard it after everybody had already started talking
I
about
heard the dubplate after everybody started talking about it.
it? Okay, and you had the same reaction. It was neutral. It was just regular.
Yeah.
Okay, Calive, what was your reaction?
Well, as someone who is part of the LGBT community, it was pretty shocking to see, as we as the community have known that Denise Belfon has supported the community in the past. So it was difficult to see, and it was bewildering for the most part.
Okay, but I mean, you gave us the community perspective, but what was your honest feeling?
Well, I was pretty confused by it. I am personally not too familiar with Denise Belfon's music, but it was just really like out of nowhere, because I knew, even though I'm not familiar with the music, she has been supporting and performing for the gay community, that sort of thing. So it was just kind of out of the way for me.
My thing is, what is your enlightenment about dubplate lifestyle? What do you understand what it's about, or is that your first interaction with seeing a dubplate being made?
It has been my first interaction with dubplates. I didn't know what it was until the whole thing happened. But I guess I have a basic understanding of it now.
And you know what? That's perfect, because Amunra, now you can explain to us what dubplate culture really is. What is clash culture?
All right. So, well, let me first start off by defining a dubplate, right? A dubplate is basically when an artist would take an original song and mention the DJ's name in it, bigging up the DJ, right?
Okay.
Now, there are different types of dubplates. One where the artist would just want to promote their song, where they would just mention the artist, where they would just mention the DJ's name, and the song would basically be very close to the original. Then there's the version where DJs use for song clash, where they would try to defeat another DJ by dissing them, call them a name. It's like banter and back and forth, similar to what Marshall and I was doing right now, right? And they would use different arguments. Some of them are true, some of them are made up, So that's basically what a dubplate is and what it's used for.
And is the culture different in other countries versus Trinidad and Tobago, or is it across the board the same type of things that you'll hear?
Across the board, you could go to Europe, you could go to the US, you go to places like Australia, they have song clash. Places in South America, they have song clash. It's the same thing across the board.
But do you naturally see it as something being strictly offended to any party or any one person, because we know the clash is naturally between DJs, and I just want to know if it should be taken out of context for any other entity outside of Sound Clash world.
I don't think so.
All right.
Question to the young lady from Omantra.
Calive,
Calive, my apologies. All right, so you said that you're unfamiliar with the music and you may not have heard or knew much about Sound Clash and stuff like that. Yes. Did you take any time in between there to listen to another dubplate and compare it?
From what I understand and from what you all have said is that this is dubplate culture, as what everyone has said. So I have taken that and run with it. I assume that's what is in all of them. So what our gripe with, it's not with the fact that she's doing dub plays or whatever, it's the fact that she's using homophobic slurs in the dub play. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else.
So if you were to hear another dubplate from another song system with a similar message, will you draw the same conclusions?
Yeah, if it has homophobic slurs or anything like that, or violence against women, that sort of thing, I would have the same reaction.
And if I were to tell you that was about 90% dubplates from song system, what would you say to that question?
So are we just going along with things because that's how they are? Is that, just how we are supposed to accept things going along and things working? So the fact that it's the culture of dubplay should not keep you in line with homophobic things. So culture isn't static, it can be changed over time. I mean, before it was just criminalized in the 90s, raping one's wife. Like, that wasn't a thing before. Or, it was culture in the 1930s and 40s for women to be put in asylums for being too sad. So cultures are things that can be dynamic and can move forward. It doesn't matter what the culture is now, you can make the change or you can take a step forward.
Amanra, do you think the LGBTQUI community should be offended?
I can't speak on their behalf.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't speak on, I would never understand from their perspective.
Okay.
I could just speak on mine.
Yeah, because you asked whether all these people around here thought that it was offensive. And I mean, I have to ask if anybody else is from the community in the room.
Yeah.
So you can't really ask straight people why.
But
Finish your point.
You can't really ask straight people what if they're offended by something that is specific to the gay community.
Yeah. How?
So, however, I can't say as a man that I would never promote violence lyrics that has violence against a woman. Because I know you mentioned that just now. So
Okay.
I don't know if that changes, if because of that I would still be able to voice my opinion. But as me, I don't really take anything away from Saucy's execution of the dubplate.
Yeah. All right. When we come back around, we want to bring Saucy back into the conversation. All right. Keep it right here. It's On Point. This is where we discuss the issues affecting us as a generation. Today we're discussing the whole issue where Denise Belfon, there was a clip posted online with a part of her doing a dubplate, and since then there have been calls to boycott Saucy, and anybody that defends her has also been chastised in different ways. All right, we talk about it some more when we come back around. Y'all know what it is. Hans, Khalifa, DJ Brent and Natalia. It's On Point.